Hi guys, this isn't the norm for my channel. Neither am I good about talking about these situations, so let's be honest. The year 2020 is a dumpster fire. The world is burning both metaphorically and physically. COVID-19, the Arctic looks like blood is pouring, rioting and looting and protesting following a racist and horrendous event that should not be happening in 2020. We have states that are in the process of reopening. I asked a loved one, on a scale of 1 to 10, how stupid do you think reopening is? And he said 10. 'Cause honestly, America. Yes, I'm American. Americans are a group of people that don't like being told what to do. Yes, there are people like me who wear their mask outside, practice social distancing, and go outside when I need to. Unfortunately, we have moments like people arguing with store employees about wearing masks because somehow wearing a mask infringes on their rights. And I have the suspicion that that woman is lying. In my experience, I've spoken with people who have on a mask, but they have it on so low that it's only covering their mouth, so their noses are exposed. Some even have the mask down to their throats, making the reason for wearing a mask completely pointless. Sensible, smart, and intelligent people like my viewers, hopefully, and me know that there's more of these people willing to come up with every excuse underneath the sun to not follow social distancing guidelines. And I would not be surprised if the cases for the coronavirus pretty much skyrockets because of Karens like these people, or people that just generally don't give a darn about other people. They're just gonna make reopening difficult. I've never been one of those people that said that this whole year sucks because I didn't think a whole year could suck. But no, 2020 is just a terrible, crappy year. So, with that said, be safe out there, guys. Back to my original video. Now I can show my drawing of Amanti From Captured, my first visual novel. This is what I drew for last month's #Mermay. The full video is available on my DarkSirenGames YouTube channel. Please go subscribe to it if you want to. I said I was working at home in the previous vlog. It turns out that there was another department offsite that needs filling and the manager needed people there. So a lot of people are pretty much playing musical departments and going to this department for the time being. Yay me, I guess. The cool part is that the work is volume based. So when we don't receive enough work and we are sent home for the day, I get paid as if I worked for 8 hours. For the most part, I work 2 to 4 hour shifts. Only 2 days a week I work a real 8-hour shift. So this new setup for my job has left me with a ton of free time. Because for example, today I got off of work at around 12, and I'm pretty much home with a lot of free time to record for this vlog. So it's been pretty awesome. Other days, I spend a lot of time writing or drawing. So, in other words, I work toward the day when I can work at home as a full-time indie author and part-time visual novel developer. I loved working remotely, but at the same time, I don't want to have my 8 to 5 job in my house. I literally brought my work home. But this current position is making me feel like less of a workaholic since I only work like 26 hours a week instead of the typical 40 hours a week. I feel like I'm being paid to vlog, write, or draw when I come home. The whole world is indecisive as hell right now. Let's talk about the past so we can think about something else for a change. I want to talk about my fellow former students who went to ECPI for the same reasons as I did, but ended up nowhere near game development when they graduated. So, Trevor, wanted to design a strategic turn-based video game, the ones with the characters moving on a grid in order to reach their target, except the characters were tanks. He tried about 2 times to arrange for a meeting after school in order to give everyone in the project their responsibilities so its game idea could come to life. This is at the time when I believe that any game development student would be willing to stay after school in order to create a video game. The other people kept saying they would show up, but they never did. Trevor eventually gave up on the idea, and he later ended up working at an IT company after he graduated. He acquired a bunch of IT certifications and was promoted to a very high position in that company. I sadly lost contact with him after college. I miss him. I miss him a lot. He was one of those people that was always willing to learn. Maybe it has something to do with him being homeschooled. Maybe his parents instilled in him the power of learning outside school. Friend number 2. Johnny realized he wasn't going to get anywhere with what he learned at ECPI College of Technology. It wasn't called ECPI University until I graduated. Yeah, that's how long ago this has been. Anyways, like in previous vlogs, I've mentioned the discontinued software TrueSpace that we use for game development classes. Believe me, I've had hiring managers laugh at my resume at job fairs and interviews a few times because of the software that I was using at ECPI. Anyway, Johnny now works for his father's company and draws art and posts it on DeviantArt from time to time. That's pretty much the extent of him doing anything creative after school. Others realize that there is a fine difference between playing video games and developing video games. This is a pretty common realization for a lot of game development students in college. So a few changed their major halfway through or dropped out of ECPI entirely. Like for me, for example, something a little different for me, I wanted to do 3D modeling so bad growing up. Then I finally reached my 3D modeling class and I hated every minute of it. Pulling the wires back and forth, trying to figure out what wire I needed to mess with in order to make my lionfish look like a fish. I freaking hated it. I admire people that have the patience for 3D modeling because I sure don't. I used to want to work for a video game company, but too much bad stuff goes on in the video game industry. Like Telltale's closure and working for EA is like selling your soul to Satan, for example. I'll also link this video in the description and also hopefully in a card on this very video right now from this channel called the Patriot Act about the dark side of the video game industry. Working in the video game industry can also end up killing you. So I recommend looking at this video if you want to try an attempt to work in the video game industry. As for me, personally, I work as your typical 8 to 5 office employee while pursuing becoming a full-time indie author and part-time visual novel developer. Back then, there wasn't a lot of resources for teaching people how to develop video games. Game development tutorials online did exist, but I still viewed college as one and only way to learn. That was a pretty expensive and common mindset for a lot of people back then. It was considered heresy if you decided to learn anything from online because everything online is a lie. My common advice for people that want to develop video games is to Google video game development tutorials in Google. Pick a few short tutorials, go through them, and if they have the patience to develop a small video game, then they can pursue longer tutorials and maybe think about spending that money to pursue going to a respectable college, not ECPI, for video game development, or continue being self-taught through Udemy or whatever website you find through Google. Whatever you want to do. But trust me, buying Udemy courses or Skillshare courses, however that works, but trust me, buying online courses is still way cheaper than college. If that person, or if you find out you don't like game development, then you can spend time pursuing another goal. Unfortunately, I'm still in contact with people who spend a lot of time playing video games and talking about wanting to develop a video game. These people have not done the research. These people lack the time management skills needed for learning. These people have long hours of nothingness in between their jobs and sleeping. Neither do they have any huge obligations to attend to, or anyone to take care of for that matter. Yet, they will talk about a video game idea, book idea, or activity that they want to do for hours with anybody who are willing to listen. Online, I have seen ideas like Has Been Hotel Come to Late. Vizzy Pop's channel fills me with life and encourages me to keep being creative, because offline, I'm surrounded by lazy, creative people who spouts phrases like there's always a tomorrow, what's the hurry, or I got all day. These are the phrases of professional procrastinators. Even now, with unessential time-consuming places closed, traveling is unpleasant and visiting friends is pretty much unsafe. These procrastinators find a way to waste their free time on streaming services like Disney Plus or Netflix or whatever else is freaking out there. Or they spend their time playing video games instead of learning how to develop video games or learning how to do whatever they keep talking other people's ears off about. It took me a decade to finally tell these people to go screw themselves, because sometimes their little procrastination germs rub off on me and it ticks me off. Sometimes I become like them. I end up thinking, hey, what's the hurry? Oh, there's always a tomorrow, or I got all day. No, I do not. Life is short. I hope the pandemic has taught a lot of people out there that life is freaking short. So, quarantine has helped me to start focusing on me and my goals. I still love motivating people, but only when I know the person is serious. I love motivating people. That's why procrastinators really bother me. Because honestly, guys, I've been drained. Life is too short. I said that, but I just want to say life is too short. I'm never going to have another opportunity again where I have all of this free time to write and draw. I feel like I'm a kid again, just spending hours upon hours just drawing or writing or being creative in my own room. This is a beautiful feeling that I thought I would never get back. This is pretty much the only good thing that has happened during this pandemic. Hopefully the next video will be about my creative journey and not talking about other people and their I'm gonna be honest, wasted potential. Because I still have a lot to learn and I'm still growing as a creative person. So subscribe to my DarkSirenGames YouTube channel if you want to see me on my art-focused YouTube channel. Icy Blue 487 is like my personal life and my creative projects mixed together. Anyways, thank you for watching. Thank you to all the people that have watched to the very end. I hope you guys have a nice day and try to be safe out there in these dangerous times. Goodbye, guys.